Yo, what is up, traders? Good to see everybody here today. 53 watching, 53 waiting. That might be a record. Nice. Looking like a spicy day. Starting a little early here. Thank you, Lizard King, Satashin, Akamoto. Thank you for the 50, man. That's incredibly generous of you. I really appreciate it. Also, welcome the Biker and Wearer Retro 99 for subscribing during the scheduled waiting session. Welcome, fam. Good to have you guys. Let's get into it. Let's go. Today's a big day. We're seeing some spiciness result. Man, how'd this background get all messed up? There we go. That's good. Not gonna mess with it now. Yeah, Fed spoke today. We saw some price action on Bitcoin. Saw some price action on Dixie. Man, what a day, man. It really feels that these long-term, these macro signals that we've been looking at the last month now are playing out. We're not quite there. Little bit of room up, but we've reached some very important levels. And we're seeing signals kind of come out of the woodwork now. It's really starting to get interesting. So it's awesome to have so many eyes here, so many people joining us. Good to see a little energy back in the space. So thank you guys for being here. Also, you've been doing an amazing job. 10 out of 10 with Rice. 10 out of 10 job. Liking these new streams. It's really important. We already have 42 likes. That's great. 75 watching now. These numbers are exploding. But a friendly reminder, if you enjoy these streams, please hit that like button. Really helps us get visibility across the platform. So I appreciate everybody who has done that already. And those who are going to do it here in a few minutes. So, all right, let's get to it. One last thing, well, housekeeping. Let me drop the Discord link. If you're new here, I just dropped the Discord link in the chat. Hop in there. Super important. We're not always locatable on YouTube, and sometimes when that happens, the only way to find our streams, and we're live daily, is by being in the Discord. You'll always get a notification, so make sure you're in there. All right. So it turns out Bitcoin was not the imposter. One imposter remains. I've been playing Among Us a lot, and I like the memes, and I got the girl into it. It's a whole thing. That's our little theme of the week. Seems that perhaps the dollar is the imposter. We're gonna take a look at some charts here. Go over what the Fed just talked about. Some interesting statements. Honestly, nothing out of character from what they've been saying, but still some interesting things. So let me pull up the dollar here. Boom. Dollar. Blow this up, make it bigger. All right, the dollar, the Dixie, the dollar index, judging the dollar based on a basket of other major currencies. Saw a little rally today off of our 93.20 support after selling off through the last day or so, and now has tested or is testing our 93.45 resistance. And what's interesting here is the timing. We saw this sell-off, I guess, last night. It was a pretty significant sell-off for the dollar, reaching down almost 0.5%. And then looked to be reversing until basically the Fed started talking. And now the dollar's showing some signs of weakness here. If we look on the MACD on the 1 hour, man, this is miserable. We do see that that bullish momentum is increasing over the last 24 hours, but it is a dismal power. This is really lackluster. You can see that the selling momentum here with these swing lows really putting in work. It seems that the dollar is a little shaky at the moment. Did close its 4-hour bullish engulfing. However, I'm not convinced that it's going to make it back over this 93.45 today. Let's add an alert here. If this goes off, we'll know to look at it. Let's put an alarm clock. But this dollar weakness that we're seeing here is certainly playing a factor across markets, not just our beloved Bitcoin. If I pull that up, even I forgot to pull that up. NS. Go. Pull up Tech 100, see where we're at. Boom. You've been following along. You would know that we were looking originally for a retest of the high here on US Tech 100. Did not get it. We saw 4-hour bearish divergence on these highs back on the 12th, and we predicted that we would see a retracement. So far looking correct. Our target was back to the 11,570 area, the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders that led into the rally. And it does appear here that we are going to paint some bullish divergence on the US Tech 100. We have a lower swing low on the 4-hour here on RSI. We don't see it on RSI. That's okay. We do see it on the MACD, which is showing this picture a little better. We have a lower low in relation to our 7th low, but price is much higher. So looking for a reversal in this area could likely be a smart play. Now, certainly there's no guarantee here. We have this potential 4-hour bullish divergence painting, but that's no guarantee. Originally, when we were looking for this target to hit the retest of the high, we're going to look for bearish divergence, and if we got it, our sights are actually going to be aimed right back down to this, what it looks like supply line, whatever you want to call it, a trend that offered support in the past twice here in September. So there may be a play here looking to play a bounce at this area 11,570, or if the bounce doesn't play out, currently I would be looking in this area. I'm making starting at 10,830, probably up to the 10,950 range, depending on how long it takes to get there. So I see basically one of two scenarios where we do something like this, or we lose the support here and head down to the trend line. See what's going on down there. Really going to be dependent likely on how the dollar plays here into close today, but also this week and into the close of the month. So the shifts in the dollar, like we said, narrative not too changed. However, it does appear that the Fed is, I want to use the word being more honest, but I guess removing some of their hesitation to kind of just say what's going on, as opposed to their normal stance of kind of dancing around the point and trying to soften the blows for investors. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of ability here for them to do that. Here we go. All right, the dollar's already lost more here. Very nice. So the Fed spoke, and what did they say today? They said nothing too super mind-blowing, but if I can grab these quotes. Bostic of the Fed said something along the lines of the U.S. recovery is weak and in some areas non-existent. I think that any logical actor here could tell you that. It's still 2020. We're not out of this year yet. The conditions really haven't changed much. We see unemployment's rising. We see case numbers rising. I don't think that it was ever an honest opinion of economists that this economy condition globally was somehow just going to magically fix itself by the end of the year. That was never realistic, but it was touted across many places. Honestly, like everyone was saying that. and it didn't make sense to me at the time. Now the Fed shifting, kind of leaning into this more and being honest, I would say, and saying that the recovery is not really what people have been thinking, or as far along as people thought it, I think is maybe the first signs of coming to terms with reality. We can see in indices and really globally in markets, we can see that reality has not been in supply.
For anyone new to trading on TradingView, if you activate all candlestick patterns, it will help you identify candles in a time you are not instant spotting them. Subscribe, like, and ignore vegans.
Thank you for the €10, Rico. My man Rico. I didn't quite catch everything you said there. Let me see if I can read it. Activate all candlestick patterns. I'm not actually sure. You might have to elaborate on that, my friend. I'm a little confused. And obviously, man, meat is what's up. So, thank you for the 10, dude. Let me not get too distracted here. But feel free. Indicators. Gotcha. Saying. Bostic, yeah, saying that this recovery week, non-existent in some areas, coming to terms with reality. Markets have not been connected with reality. Production has been down globally. Demand has been down globally. And, we saw a few months of that recover ever so slightly. But it's just confused me since day one why kind of touting this. Oh, we're going to recover really quick. I know people personally in our community who are not currently employed, despite having a lifetime of employment, then have not returned back to work yet. So to me, that says that, in just that sample size, things aren't back to normal yet, and markets eventually have to reflect this. We say this all the time here, or I've said it all the time. I don't know if you guys believe me. That there's really only one of two outcomes, and that is that the dollar dumps and stocks continue to rise, or stocks rise and the dollar can maintain its value, or even technically it could increase in value, but you can't have it both ways. You can't have the dollar climbing with stocks in this market condition, with supply, production, and demand down. It's really a setup for stagflation, and that brings us to the next point. Our next point, talking point with the Fed, that Parker pointed out or stated that they're going to be tolerating higher inflation to help achieve employment goals. Now, this is the bread and butter. This is the golden goose for crypto. This is what we always want. We always want to see national governments looking to hit inflation targets or exceeding them, because that directly, in theory, this is supposed to work, but in theory, it's directly what should feed cryptocurrency or other finite assets such as gold and PM, things like that. And that as well can benefit stocks, but I would say that stocks are less likely to benefit it to the same degree as the finite assets, as things like that, especially with the economy not in great shape and employment not in great shape. I don't know if they gave any specific numbers, but essentially they will no longer head off higher inflation by preemptively raising interest rates before they have achieved full unemployment. Now, kind of not useful to say now, as they don't have any plans, as far as I know, of raising rates, and that seems to be for the foreseeable future. But they're now admitting or stating that the risk tolerance of a higher inflation in their view is worth it to achieve their employment goals. And I will say, I'm 100%, not even talking about the corn or my investments. Outside of that, I'm 100% on board with that. It's about time the Fed really starts taking action in a way that directly benefits people. Now, inflation doesn't necessarily, doesn't benefit people directly. But achieving higher employment goals, giving out stimulus, there are things in play, and I think that these statements today are the first steps towards those actions that we have needed this whole time globally. When the US moves, it does move the rest of the world in some way as well. So their actions are not just impacting the US, but everyone, pretty much everyone in a modern country at the moment. So it does, I have more confidence now since that, because I see them actually identifying and admitting that these problems are there and that they need to take action, versus earlier when they would use very soft language to essentially say nothing in these announcements. And a lot of that happened as well with this. But it does seem as if now they're starting to address the issue more directly. And hopefully that does lead to their desired outcome that I think we all want. More unemployment and really people keeping their houses and eating. Those are pretty basic things. Okay, enough of the Fed. Let's go into the corn. The corn seems to be pleased with this recent talk. Looking at the weekly, looking solid. Patrons know this. I'm pretty sure I talked about a good amount of this in the last few episodes. On the weekly, with this open or close yesterday, whatever, it doesn't really matter. With this new candle printed, we were looking for the 10 and 5 and 10 weekly moving averages to cross bullish. You can see them here in the pink. I'll make the 5 some other color. There we go. We got the bullish cross that we were looking for here on the weekly on the 5 and 10 moving averages. The 20 being absolutely respected and continuing on the course that it has been for the last, who knows now, multiple weeks, acting as support in late August, early September, and again in late September, and now price seems to be diverging. Seems to be moving away from that 20 weekly moving average, which is currently sitting around 10,500. Get the exact number up here, 10,530. And as we continue with price action here, regardless, we're going to be keeping an eye on this 20 moving average. It seems critical to this local price action at least. So we're going to be updating that every week. We're going to be seeing where this 20 is moving to. Where it's moving to. It's going to continue to move up unless price somehow drastically sells underneath it. So currently market conditions looking pretty solid. On the MACD weekly, we are seeing what we've been waiting for is a flip back to the bullish on our histogram here. And we can see, if we look back, the last time that happened was in April on the weekly, around here, after a few weeks of green. I don't know if that reminds anybody of anything else. A few weeks of green. We can see as soon as the MACD on the weekly flipped bullish, we got price action. It looks like April 20th, weekly opening at 7,100. Pretty much until, all the way up until August 15th-ish, 75% gain. That's substantial. A move like that here, you got something like that again, growing currently, that would be once confirmed, would basically be impossible to argue that the market is not in a bull trend. So we're not quite there yet. We do have some resistances above us on the weekly, 11,920 from the candle closes on the 10th and 17th of August. And above that, this isn't necessarily a weekly resistance. It is because it's the wick previous high in 2019, which is at 1368. I think that's actually more so is it a daily? There's some other time frame where it's a significant. Here it is. It's the monthly resistance going back to 2017's December close, because that also would make it a yearly resistance. So we can see that lines up. perfectly with the 2019 high, and now is our final battle. Yeah, I didn't go to the week monthly. So this is the important levels that we've hit here with this rally today. Is the monthly resistance at 11,655. We've been talking about that plenty recently. Price finally got the courage to move up. I'm looking for a close today on the daily above this level, 11,655. And much more importantly, to close the month above there. This is a level that if we look left, we can see other candles, other monthlies have struggled in this area to close with rejection wicks, 2019 as well. So a close here, especially after close here above 11,655, especially after our quarterly close being the second highest ever last month, really is furthering our arguments here that we have continuation to the upside. We found some very hot signals over the last month here. The quarterly close being probably the biggest, and it does seem like they're playing out. And a bullish engulfing close on this monthly is going to be amazing if we get it. So that is the most important price level, in my opinion, for the next, I don't know, what is it, 10 days? How many days are in it? 12 days. 12 days? All right. Next 12 days, we're going to be keeping our eye on 11,655. We do have a pretty critical level here as well at 11,467 that it does seem as if price has retaken and potentially made into support. We can see that all of 2019 I struggled there, and as well as off the 2018 sell-off from 20K, we see our monthly candles closing there as well before rejecting and sinking lower. So this is a big level. I would say that 11,655 is more important, but if we do see price sell underneath before the end of the month, and that seems very likely, I would look first to 11,469 for support. Let's keep moving. The 12 hour threatening here that we could have bearish divergence, but we don't have any confirmation yet. I'm talking for RSI. If the candle reverses here and retraces today's candle up down past that support we just talked about, 11,475 area, likely we will have bearish divergence on the highs in the 12 hour, and that would not be ideal. Likely would call for a test of the 50 12-hour moving average, also the 25 daily. As you can see, RSI has not made a new high. However, we may not be done with this move. We have a solid candle here on the 12 hour. It's bullish engulfing. Would have to sell off down under 11.5 to change that. And what we also see is a bullish divergence on the lows here between October and early October, and the swing low in mid-October here. On MACD, we see a bullish divergence with the lower MACD low, and looks to be flipping similar to the weekly back to the buy side. I'm not sold until we get a 12-hour candle printed. It would be a light red candle showing us that maybe aren't flipping back to bullish yet on the MACD. I'm not convinced that this rally is done. We have a setup where we just need RSI to push up and price, and we have MACD agreeing with it, and so really not quite sold that we're done here. Something interesting on the 12-hour you can also observe on the daily is the 200 and 100 actually crossed bearish only 3 days after the 50 and 100 crossed bullishly. Something of note, we talk about, this channel is a lot about learning, so I want to include this. We talk a lot about moving averages because they're one of my favorite indicators. And so typically this cross the 100 and 200 on the 12 hour would supersede this 50-100 bullish cross that was previous. These are longer moving averages, they carry more weight. However, there's some interesting things of note here that leads me to believe that they are not valid, this cross, and that price is looking to rather quickly cross bullish again. Likely about November, so 12 days, maybe into early November as well. The things of note here though are the reaction of the 50 and 200. And if we switch to the daily, these really just move to the 25 and 100. So what we see is that the 50 is reluctant. And I've been using that word a lot because we've been seeing this appear on the charts in different time frames, not just this one. The 50 is reluctant to cross the 200. You see that it was very threatening. It was sloping down at a rather violent angle, and then randomly on the 28th of September caught something and then traveled parallel to the 200. So up until that point, if we cut out that chart data, everyone looking at this chart is saying, oh man, we're gonna have a bearish death cross 50-200 on the 12 hour or 25-100 on the daily. But then this faked out, all of a sudden just travels parallel. That's not super common, which suggests that the market, maybe this was just a fake out. As well as we have the 200 slanting up and moving up, and what we see is that while shorter time frames crossing longer time frames can give us bullish or bearish signals, we do see quite commonly that when the longer moving average is moving in a direction, and it doesn't matter if it's up or down, the cross tends to play out more in favor of whatever direction the longer MA is moving. So we have a bearish cross, but the 200 is still moving up. And really, if we look at price action, did not take much time after this cross to see a rally. I can get the candles back now, hopefully. There we go. Yeah, it was almost instant. 18th, so yesterday, at pretty much candle open, we were coming off 2 weak bullish candles, got the cross, and instead of selling off to test it, seemed to pick up speed from it. So lots of signals here suggesting that this was a fake out or a trap in the market. I think that's all I had about 12 hour. Ichi's not too spicy here. Nope. Chain bands. Price, yeah, this is the only other interesting thing is, so the middle band on 12-hour Bollinger Bands holding as support now as well. So this is an important level to look for in the event of a sell-off. 11.415 lining up pretty well with a lot of the stuff we just looked at. Thank you for the €2, Stefan Bossman, my man. But so we're looking, this is an important level for support, and we have the top of the Bollinger Band, and if you notice, and maybe make this a little see. There we go. Price is currently on top of it. Now, we do have a whole episode dedicated to Bollinger Bands and how to use them. This doesn't necessarily call for an immediate short. Usually, we need to look at the trend, and the trend is still a little unclear. I think it's leaning towards bullish, especially the more it pushes up. But we do see when market conditions are bullish in the past that the top of the bands sometimes can even act as support. We see it here in July. Candles, I think, really good example. We see the 12-hour candles move up and basically use the 12-hour top band as support in that move up. So what we don't want to see is the middle band break, because that would suggest that we aren't in that scenario where we're going to be pushing up the top band over and over again. And that's pretty nice because it's less than 2% from market price right now. So there's a lot of interesting information going on across many time frames at the moment. 4-hour. Something go. No. This is a 4-hour chart without wicks. I've been keeping one chart up without wicks just to see if I can find value in it. And to be honest, I like looking at it. It looks clean. Feels like clean on my eyes. 4-hour TK. 11,620. And we're seeing a lot of convergence. I don't know. A lot of agreement in this value as well in the 11,600. So we do have that monthly engulfing line. Hopefully, if it is tested, will act as support. And oh wow. Okay, so when I was getting ready, this hadn't happened yet. On the hourly. Yeah, man. Rock and roll. All right. On the hourly, we see that that test may have happened. We may have tested this 11,655. We have a wick down to 11,659. I think that that's close enough. That's a margin of error kind of thing. What we also see on the hourly is that 11,655 is the 0.5 retrace from the bottom to the top of this local rally. So a lot of different things. There's more than this. I'm not gonna go through them all. They're on the Patreon post, which is actually public today for people to check out. Links in the chat. More detail there. But there's a lot of things here at 11,655. So that's where my eyes are. I do not want to see price dip below this until, well, into the close of October. It's not the end of the world if it does, but it becomes a lot more bullish, the outlook, if we can sustain this level into the monthly close. Yeah, the 15-minute coming really close. Very strange candles here, but that's okay. There we go. This is it, man. This is the important area. Was it 2 days ago? 2 days ago? We created our probability box back here during the live episode. You guys can check that out. And this is the probability cage, not a box. So price was already inside of it, and we said that above this white box is going to be a resistance area, and below is going to be support. And we're going to look for a break in either the top of the resistance or the bottom of support. That would likely show us the direction of the trend moving forward in this pattern that we're in. And this worked out pretty freaking great. Price bounced off the bottom of what I'm calling the neutral zone, the white box. Bounced off the top of the white box and then moved into the resistance zone, testing it before breaking out. This gave us a signal that the market was interested in moving up. There was a lot of things that went into factoring this. You're going to have to watch the episode. I can't even remember all of them. A large one, though, being how tight the Bollinger Bands became on the hourly. It was actually back. I'm not sure where we started it. Anyway, we got a lot of signals that volatility may be coming. We set up this box, and we got our signal. So far, so good. Like, this TA is just spot on. Sometimes you just get lucky. Where did you get? What we have, okay, we do have, if we connect a trend line from the September 1st highs sell-off, trading view will do it. What? Why does it do this sometimes? I do not know. From 12,080, and we connect it to the previous high here that we have broken today at 11,737 on October 12th. We can see that we broke out of it, and so far, price has come back to back test that trend. But this was another supporting factor of that 11,655. This trend line lined up really well with it. It is a little higher, 11,678. It's like 0.02% or something. That's plenty close for me. I would like to see this back test hold. If we don't, we should be looking. Let's go. Could be looking for a retracement from our low, the 16th. Nicely, the 236 lines up 11,680. Man, everything doesn't matter how you slice it. Really, slice it in any way you'd like. This area seems just important to almost every time frame right now. Right here, pretty solid back test. Hopefully this area holds, and if not, we may have to look lower, potentially down to the 0.5 of the total move if we lose 11,655, which is really only like 11.5, not a huge move down. But right now, that's not where I'm looking. I don't see anything calling for it yet, and so prices, they were doing pretty good. I'm pretty down with it. 15-minute painting divergence. Like we have a lot of great stuff here. This MACD swing low in the 15-minute really didn't move price much, but suggested that it was a big swing. Stotch is also agreeing with it here. We see a higher swing low here-ish, and now has swung lower, but price is significantly higher. We have a similar signal back here. Swing low, and then a lower swing low, but price is significantly higher. RSI is still a little undecided. This is the 15-minute, so I'm just trying to look at what could be happening here soon. We have the setup to have that 50 RSI bounce as well that we talked about, I think, last time. We have all the potential to move up again. But this is the corn, guys. It does as it pleases. It is a honey badger. So we can really never know what's going to happen next, but what we can do is look for probable areas, just as this 11,655 was, and then look for signals and base trades off of that. Yeah, that's really all we can do. And the rest of it's up to the magic market force. And I hope that. Let's see. Where am I gonna look? Be the 4. A new 4-hour. Just printed during this episode. Good. It closed above the trend line. Excellent. Would not like to see the 4-hour here. The final 4-hour of today. I would not like to see it close underneath this trend line. That would definitely not be ideal for continuation. And things are looking great, guys. I hope everybody's feeling it today, because I'm feeling it. When we look at longer time frames, we do still see the RSI coming up. You know, like, so many things are suggesting that we need another impulse or another move up to invalidate bearish divergence. Everywhere you look, you can find it. Need something like this to surpass the previous peak. Actually, maybe even higher. Maybe even higher. So we're looking for a move. On that break up, I really, like 11.9 is the logical target. Close above 11.655, 11.9 is in your sights. And then there's nothing really else. There's like just not a lot above that. 12.4-ish area, certainly going to do something, but I doubt that it will have the power to reject price in the event it makes it up there. I would really be looking at that 13.8. A lot of cards there. A lot of cards on the 13.8. Let's look at futures quick. Where'd you go? Futures opening yesterday, or today's candle, with a solid gap below it. 11,370. Did fill some. It was originally 11,370 to 11,505, but on open sold off barely into it, 11,470. So now we have a $100 gap here. Still unfilled. We have about $20 left below that at 11,205 to 11,225 that wasn't filled. And then even below that, 9,665, 9,850 still sitting there, unfilled. What we have seen though, that is worth of note, is that each of these gaps printed, and if we look, had some price action that filled it on the wicks. All three. We have 1, 2, 3 examples. None of them are completely filled at this moment, but each of them rather quickly filled some portion of the gap, but leaving a piece remaining. So we might be seeing a pattern here. This is 3 in a row. This is becoming Swiss cheese of gaps. And each time that happens, it's leaving orders wrapped lower, waiting for those gaps to be filled. I would love to see this continue happening on the way up. Just leave a trail of holes behind. A trail of tears of the people who wanted to get back in but couldn't. CME touching as high as 11,910. Really has been trading higher. Really has been trading at a premium. Does seem like that premium is starting to close. Spot trading at 11,675. CME at 11,750. About $100 has been the premium here on CME for days, if not weeks. I would like to see that swap. To be honest, I would like to see spot higher than CME. Because I would like the spot asset to be more valued. I don't know. We'll get into that now. But we are seeing that gap close, which is interesting, and we are seeing the CME gaps themselves get slightly closed, but not actually finished off. And that's unusual because we used to see them consistently fill in one move. They would open a gap. Within that week, we would see price fill that gap totally, typically reverse after that, and we're not seeing that anymore. So not sure what to make of it, but it's a pattern and we noticed it, so we're going to keep our eye out and see if that continues happening. Only other thing on CME here, this little bull flag looks to have played out. We had lows, we had a series of lower lows and lower highs after gapping out of our descending trend from August and September's highs. Started to do a bull flag-ish formation, and we got a breakout. So CME actually, the chart is growing on me in the sense of it seems clearer, doesn't it? Eliminating the weekends from trading really seems to simplify the chart in a way. Not sure what to make of that, but I'm looking at this more and more, I find. I haven't looked at total. Let's look at total. Nothing too astronomically interesting on total here. The weekly, likely to see some resistance up here. 35 billion, something like that. And above that, 388 all the way up to 409, 410 billion. Looking good. I have commonly said that total market cap looks more bullish than the coin itself, than Bitcoin itself, which wouldn't expect that. Check on Bitcoin dominance on the weekly following our predicted trend, heading up to this 50 week moving average as we spotted back in, I don't know, like August or early September. Not moving quickly. That's for sure. This is taking its time, but it becoming more and more convincing as a reversal. If that continues, we can expect to see alts taking a beating. That actually is typical of rallies in Bitcoin. Rallies or sell-offs, to be honest, but when Bitcoin's rallying, we do expect that Bitcoin dominance does go up, And once that rally subsides, we see the Bitcoin dominance relax back down as the price trades typically in a channel or more sideways. This is another piece of evidence suggesting that Bitcoin volatility is still on the horizon here, or still in the future here. This is the weekly chart, so this is a pretty lengthy reversal. I don't know if we have any new indications here or anything. Not really much. Looks as if it's likely to catch bearish divergence on whatever high it puts in. That's why all my projections do end with a move down. But target's still the same, 62.60 to 64.60. That was an old alert, don't get too excited. Bitcoin volatility, still very low. Still very, very low. If we look historically, down towards the bottom. And Bitcoin doesn't stay unvolatile forever. The longer it is, I guess, ranging down here, the more likely I believe it becomes that we see a large spike in volatility. It's really low. Not really seeing anything on these indicators here. That's okay. Today's candle is rather nice, a little solid green, but doesn't look to have escaped from the trend line of volatility here. So we're gonna have to see even more to be a convincing increase in volatility. Oh, word. All right. I got everything out I think I wanted to say. That's good. Sorry for not paying attention to the chat. We're gonna do that now. 250 watching. Holy crap. Nice. Nice. This is like getting close to some record numbers. Welcome, guys. Great to have so many people here. That is amazing. We're getting interest back in the space. Certainly interest was at a yearly low, possibly a multi-yearly low earlier in 2020. Before the rally, there's about a 3-month period of sideways consolidation. And even September last month was very, it was for my channel, and like I can see the analytics for like the users and ooh.
Correlation boys confused AF gap boys confused AFIDK for sure but 99 sure Elliot boys confused lol even Mercury boys confused comfy AF.
I'm confused too, Rico. Thank you again, dude. Your donations are so appreciated, my man. That's kind of my thought is we had this long period of time where people got very dependent on these gaps and these gaps filling. And the whole time, not too many of you were around at this time. Rico was, you might remember this. The whole time I basically had the same stance of gaps. Yes, they statistically fill. Bitcoin is volatile. You can give any price that Bitcoin has been to, I don't know, in the last year-ish, and the odds of it returning to that price are very high, multiple times even. I think that explains a lot of the gap filling. But at the same stance of, is just another trap coming. That we're going to have these gaps fill over and over and over again until it's important. And I literally, this is a quote. I have no idea when I said it. Maybe Streambots or Streamlabs knows. I think it's a quote. Whenever the bull market starts, it's going to leave a trail of gaps behind it. We're seeing that. Hopefully that means that's what's going on.
YouTube famous BTC King of Kings, first of his name, Big Daddy Crown OMG.
Beautiful Josh, my man, thank you for the 5. For the generous 5. We can look at OMG for sure. What was it saying? Yeah, so this is more of like a game theory concept than it is a textbook thing. I always try to envision what's going to wreck the most people, what's going to get people on the wrong side of the trade, and consistently filling gaps and then leaving them behind when the market starts, when the bull run starts, it just goes along with that game theory. It keeps people waiting lower. And we saw that happen. Even, you know, some of us even are still waiting maybe for that 9.6. Maybe we get it. I don't know. At this point, I think that it is less probable as we continue to go up. But that really has left large amounts of money on the side looking to get in. And the setup for this, or like the goal, the game theory goal of this, is that we leave these gaps. We leave these gaps and we leave people out, and then whatever market force or person or group or whatever then pumps the market very hard past through resistances, forcing basically those people who are waiting at those gaps to buy in at a higher cost, at probably a very large loss, and then likely that's when they are going to do some profit taking. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Actually, if you hear people saying that we're waiting for these gaps to fill, if we see a move up and then they're like, I'm buying in, I can't wait, watch for that, because that's probably when the profit taking is going to start. Interesting little signal. OMGs. If Josh, if it wasn't for you, I don't know how often I would look at OMG, but you've grown it on me. You've grown it upon me. All right. We have a new weekly, so let's look at our weekly. Where did we close? Did not get quite the close we wanted. I believe last week we were looking for 343. But the major condition was I didn't want to see the weekly close below 328, and it did not, so that is good. That is solid. Man, this is just flagging. OMG is one of the just ridiculousest, most ridiculous charts. It's so ridiculous. It just like keeps painting the same bullish divergence on like all kinds of time frames, and it just hasn't moved yet. The weekly looks beautiful. Weirdly, the weekly just flipped to sell on this MACD, but what's nice is we do see that would be bullish divergence, as long as wherever this was, like down here, isn't broken. But we've been looking at that the whole time because we were already seeing it on our other MACD. I'm starting to think this one's better. This one seems to spot the flips better. We were already looking for that divergence thanks to this other indicator with its lower low swing on MACD and its higher low swing in price, and RSI potentially is telling the same story here. And we're still waiting for confirmation, though. This is the same point we were looking for earlier. I want to see another swing high in RSI exceeding the previous in late September, early October of 59. 60 RSI is considered the bullish zone above 60, but so it's interesting that it stopped there. Let's move down to the daily. This chart just looks beautiful. It's just waiting. I don't know what it's waiting for. And we do have some trend lines converging here. Off the highs on the daily, we see that today's high wick hit it. And it hit the down here for a low on the weekly. Just coiling up. Not sure what to make of this. Like, this is absolutely, before this happened, looked perfectly like an inverse head and shoulders. Perfectly. We did speculate that we can see price come back down again for more of a W bottom before moving up and still validate the inverse head and shoulders. It's just odd to me that it's taking so long to play out. Not in a way that I think is bearish or something. It doesn't make me bearish on this coin. It's just, man, there's so much power on this chart. We have divergences on like high time frames. We have it on the daily. Yeah, and like we're seeing all kinds of stuff. It's just waiting for its catalyst or whatever. Likely waiting for the king, for the corn to give it the okay. I think as pretty much as soon as we see Bitcoin break through the next resistance level, maybe on a move up to that 13, I think we're going to see all these altcoins that have this same kind of bottoming reversal pattern. I think we're going to see them all break out, probably very similar timing. Maybe there's something on the shorter time frames here, I don't know. Little 4-hour bullish divergence on these lows for MACD, but not RSI. I feel like every time we look at it, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of bullish divergence and just stays range bound. Lows are coming up. We could have some kind of like like upside down, inverse 3 drivers. I don't know, something. It is starting to look rather harmonic as well. We're just waiting. We're just sitting and waiting. It's gonna break. Gonna break eventually. I'm surprised it hasn't broken yet. That chart looks great. I mean, I have no complaints. I don't see like anything particularly bearish about it, really on any time frame, other than it just hasn't broken out yet. Let's look at. I'm gonna take a check at this again. Came so close. 11,604, 11,570. Dang, that is close. That might be the test. Might be the test. 1 hour's flipping up. 4 hour not showing it yet. Oh, US Tech 100 hit our box.
Can we check Crow BTC? I started accumulating today.
There, Nick. Nick D, what's up, man? Certainly we can look at Crow. I actually was looking at Crow earlier today. You guys have been around. We were looking at it a few days ago, and I set out some targets, and good timing for Nick as first target just hit. Pull that up. Man, US Tech 100, what are you bounce here? It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be a savage bounce. But we already kind of went through that. So if anybody wanted to see the US Tech 100.
YouTube famous BTC King, do you think McDonald's will continue to offer free Wi-Fi to homeless people?
Josh, your dick. I don't know. Market prediction. McDonald's will take away their free Wi-Fi. Dun dun dun, the prophecy. Crow. I was looking at this earlier. We looked at it a few days ago. I pointed it out as one of the strangest looking charts I had ever seen in crypto. This is the Bitcoin pair. When was that? There was a gap down on the 4 hour. Doesn't appear to be here anymore. That's okay. And I was talking about it because I signed up for the card, the Crow card, and basically it has good cash back rewards. That's why I wanted it. But you have to have a certain amount of Crow to get like certain levels, whatever you want to call it. So I had to pick some up, and I was about to. I was like finger on the trigger, about to pick it up. And then I was like, I'll just look at the Bitcoin pair chart for a second, because I know we had been charting the USD for a while, and hit our resistance, and I didn't know it was this savage. Heading back to 9.4 cents maybe. That is savage. But I still wanted to pick some up simply for the cash back element, and we picked out this target about 970 sats down to 825 sats. Did hit the 971. I'm looking more so to buy at this 825, and if 825 doesn't hold, I'll likely average down, depending. Obviously this will be in the moment. Might average down at 618, and then maybe, if worst case scenario, again at 350. This is hard to tell, man. I've never seen anything like this. These are 4-hour candles. This is not like 5-minute candles where we've seen this before. Like, this is the daily. Look at this freaking daily. How does it look like this? It's 35 days of red. 35 red daily candles with 1 green candle in it. So 34. That's absurd. I've never seen that. This is the only freaking green daily candle in 35 days. And look at its size. It's like a joke. Like, it's not even like a bullish engulfing candle off the previous. I don't know what is going on that's doing this, but it is clear that something happened, something important on the 17th or 18th of September. Clear that something happened, because it's just the most unusual thing I've ever seen. Sometimes you'll see this in a bull market when this is green. You'll see that, but I've never seen a crypto chart look like this. Period. To the downside, at least. Typically, sell-offs are quicker. They don't typically take 34 days. It's just so strange. I've been keeping my eye on it. I'm not even going to put that there. I don't like that we're seeing momentum increase, though. You know, we had lots of days of these very small daily candles, and then they started to stretch out. Then they kind of tighten back up and stretching out again. Just going to be... This is a knife. We're catching the knives here. There's no way to know when this wants to reverse. And I think Fib is really our only tool here, because we looked at RSI and stuff yesterday. RSI on this coin on almost every time frame is the lowest that we've ever seen on anything. 4-hour RSI of 1.8. 1.8. Oh, dude. Steph. Can you tell me how is it Stefan or Stet? I don't know. Thank you, buddy. $2. Thank you for the €2. Bro changed the PA. Yeah, I know that happened recently, but that happened like here. You know what I mean? That didn't happen up here. There's something that I don't know about that went on with this. Thank you for the reminder, because that is good info, but that happens so much more locally. Like, I could see that like a day or two ago, maybe. Look at this, 12-hour RSI 2.6. Like, what is happening? 3.5 on the daily. I don't know if I've ever seen a crypto chart at 3.5 on the daily. The good news is, here's some good news on this. That's why I'm interested at maybe entering small, entering cautiously at 825 sats, and maybe again at 618, is that I've never seen anything like this. This has to print ridiculous divergence. You know, the weekly's so low, unless it sells off all the way down under 350. 330 sats.
Crow volume tells it all. Nobody cares about it, but they do care for 50 cheaper Bitcoin, and then follow it up with a slash in staking rewards and you get popcorn.
Thank you, Rico. Thank you again, my man. Yeah, that's another weird thing about, like, I don't know what's going on with the chart. Look at this volume. And you can see this on other exchanges too. It's like the coin never had volume. All of a sudden right here randomly had volume, and then is like kept like the same volume the whole time. Like, it's very odd. That sudden spike is very strange to me. But like, really actually what's strange is that really in all of this price action it remained about the same. It's just very odd. But we are going to see some crazy bullish divergence. As long as it doesn't go under 331 sats, so as long as it doesn't make a new all-time low, it's going to have crazy divergence. and we're just catching knives here. You know, we really don't have a way of knowing when it will reverse. We can use fib here, and that's where I'm getting my targets, at the 618, at the 786. But God knows, man, like, who... This is like a knife for sure. The only reason I'm getting it is because I want the like 3% cash back or something. I don't know exactly what it is. I just know it's better than my card. So this coin, I wish I had anything to say about it other than those price levels. We're unlikely to see like any signals here. It's either gonna bounce at one of these fibs or it's gonna make a new all-time low. It's very weird. I think we do have something over here on the USD pair. About 9.3, 9.4 cents. Was a February wick high, likely to provide some kind of support. You also could consider this kind of price range here. Man. Yeah, like this is, so we're talking about the RSI on the daily. On the USD pair, it's at 15.6. That's really low, really low. But when we look at it on the Bitcoin pair, dude, like 3.5, that's like a record. It's really weird. This chart doesn't make any sense to me. It's just really weird. It's super. Like 15 RSI in the USD pair, 3 on the Bitcoin pair. What is happening? Really, if I was looking to trade this in USD, I would not touch this. I would not touch this until 10 cents. 10 cents flat. See that previously it found support there on the 11th of June. But really, I would probably be hands off until we got closer to this 0.937. This is a knife for sure, so be careful, don't get cut. I'm only doing it because I want the card. I think that it is probable. I think it's probable that we see a bounce in this box. Logarithmic though, 950. Either way, this is close to where I'm looking anyway. I would say anyone who has entered, like Nick, who wanted me to look at this. Dude, here's the thing. Here's what you just did. That's awesome. Is look at how much of a discount you got. I know this might feel bad, especially if it keeps going down. But buying this, as ugly as it is way smarter than buying this. And obviously we're looking at this in hindsight, and we know that that was the top. But even when we didn't, buying this is not a smart trade. You know, you're off of how many days of pretty much just green? Like 60 days. I would rather buy off of 60 days of red than off of 60 days of green. Everything reverses eventually, and people, you could have snipped or tried to enter this coin so many times earlier, like maybe at this wick low from the 20th, and really just gotten hammered. So just be careful with this. I'm looking probably closer to the 8.15 area for a bounce, maybe 8 flat. But at least you waited. You know, that's only a few percent down now. It's like maybe 12, 11% down, where you could have bought, let's say, at like, you know, 12, 1300, and now you're already down 25, maybe all the way down to like 40. I don't know. Just be careful. I can't endorse this for anyone to go after, really. Really only doing it because I want that card. Nice. Nice Bitcoin. Nice. Sorry, that was really long, but thanks for bringing it up, Nick. That is a chart I like looking at. It's strange. Nice. It appears as if 11,655 could be acting as support. We got 2 green candles off of it now. Where's our 4 hour? 4 hour is green. That's a spicy. That's a spicy meatball. Today's a spicy day. Love it. I love it. Love that we have so many eyes here again. People interested in crypto again. We can look at more coins here in a second. Where did my charts go? I have like 8,000 tabs, and every once in a while. Nice. Here's what we were looking for. The dollar looks like it is continuing potentially its downside from that post-Fed meeting. A-minute bearish divergence there on those highs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, buddy. This, the redder this is, the better it's gonna look for the for Bitcoin, so I welcome that. $11,750 is right at the 0.5 retrace of the previous 4-hour candle, and it was resistance, likely resistance again. It's a tough spot. This is a tough spot. What is that? What are you doing? Why is I'm so confused? I was typing on my numpad and it was like changing ticker for some reason. Hour flipping. All right. Really want to see this daily close above 11,655. Above 11,750 would best ideal, but not a huge difference. The 11,655 is the most important level. And what we really want to see is continuation of this rally to close a candle above 11,972. And the reason for that is we eliminate, I think it might be on the 4-hour. On the daily. Yes, on the daily. Is to eliminate the potential bearish divergence that could be printed if price fails to exceed that level from the previous high in early September. We have a low swing high on our volatility, or on our RSI. What am I saying? And price is still underneath this high, but RSI is above. So if we don't break that and close above it, 11,972, we will paint bearish divergence on the daily, and that is not a good look, especially when everything's looking so nice now. It seems like all the factors are set up, lining up well. It's really not what we want to see. So my opinion and edge is that we're likely to close a candle above there, hopefully by the end of the month. Things are looking good. 11,650 holding. 250 people watching. You guys are amazing. Holy crap. Holy crap. Can't believe there's so sweet. For everybody new here, we're live every day with very little exception. The timing changes sometimes, but welcome, fam. We're always welcoming new people. It's great to have you. Make sure if you're new here, you join the Discord. I don't think my button's working anymore. Okay, I guess it's working. I dropped the link in the chat. Make sure you're in there. For whatever reason, knock on wood, we're not always able to be found as a stream when we're live. And so if you don't want to miss the episodes, the best way, guarantee you get an alert or notified that we're going live, is joining the Discord. So lots of good stuff in there. There's a 24-hour live stream of charts. Typically I'll put up whatever kind of TA I was doing in the daily episode up there so people can follow along. Lots of free educational resources in there. Post-episode chat, so it's free. A good deal. So make sure you get in there if you're new here. And if you're just joining us and you haven't yet, please hit that like button. That really helps the stream stay visible to new people. And we want as many people as we can getting this good information, because there's so much bad information in crypto. So if you can spare a thumbs up, deeply appreciate it. And last but not least, and I'll stop shilling myself after this, patron. A little late in the month now. Still 12 days left, so it'd be up to you. But the patron is a great value. It supports the stream, but most importantly, it's an investment in yourself, and it is really geared towards education, improving as a trader. Every patron has access to one-on-one sessions with me weekly, which means up to 5 times a month sometimes, where you can ask anything about TA, crypto, whatever. Some people just want to chat. That's cool. But that's included. There's exclusive posts daily, and if you look at that link that I put in the chat, you can see that is what I call a full time frame breakdown, and patrons get this essentially daily, the kind of information they get. It's very detailed. If you want to click on it, it's set to public, so you'll be able to see it, and that's today's update. That has a lot of what we've talked about in this episode in it, but likely with more detail. They'll give you a little taste of what you can expect if you are looking to become a patron. Yeah, I do everything I can to make it as best or as much of a value as I can, and the feedback so far is that I do a pretty good job of providing the value, so look forward to anybody joining.
YouTube famous BTC King wrecked city is still homeless. I've started a GoFundMe account to help him get back on his feet.
Josh, you're so nice. A nice guy. I think you guys scared him away. That's not cool. Not cool. I don't think we've seen him, although I haven't read the chat at all this episode, so maybe I'm just not paying attention. But we love everybody here and want everyone to do their best. So I hope if you're out there, Rex City, I hope you come back to us. We love you, brother. Don't let these guys razzing you scare you.
When Parabolic SAR episode, heart.
SAR Parabol, the SAR Parasar, I forget what you call it, indicator. We could do an episode on that. I probably even have to do some research. It's not something I've used a ton. I have used it before. Yeah, we could do that. Always taking requests, by the way, guys. If you guys have a topic in crypto that you want to hear about, I like doing little lessons on things, especially indicators or trading styles, strategies. I like going over those for you guys. There is a playlist on my channel that has short versions of old episodes where we've done that. They're like 10 to 15 minutes, and they focus on one topic, and they go as in depth into it as possible that I know. Topics like how to trade Stoch RSI, how to trade moving averages, how to identify supports and resistances, how to use Bollinger Bands, things like that. They're really informative, so if you're new, I think those are a great thing to check out. But yeah, we can do Parasar, Parabolic SAR, sometime soon. I'll look into it for you, buddy. For Rico, anything, obviously. So what's next? What else do we want to look at today? We have so many viewers. It's amazing. You guys are the best. You're the best. 240 watching, 155 likes. Dang. 155 likes, that's a lot. That means almost, I don't know, 30% of the people haven't yet. If you haven't liked the new stream, very much appreciated if you could hit that like button. We'll be your best friend. Alright, now I'm gonna read chat. I'm done. Done with my rant. I was excited today. Got some good moves, some cool things going on. Take a look at some charts we've been talking about. Philip Byron used to watch the old stream. That's dope, man. Welcome back. Good to see old faces here. We've been doing live episodes instead because we're kind of forced to. That's okay. I like it. I like this setup. I think it has more value. Get to help people more directly. DLGDO is my biggest fan. Well, I'm your biggest fan, DLGDO. Thank you, my friend. Corbin Dallas, what's up? Matthew Miller. Doing brother. Josh Harrison. John Vesemir. Sharknado. Sharknado here. Mala, the wonderful Mala. It's great to have everybody here. Love you guys. You guys are a huge help. You do great work. Man, there's a lot of chat. I don't think I can go through it all. William Invests. What's up, dude? Albert says, I love the card. Vlad Usatenko. What's up, bro? That's good to see you. Did it for the card. I want the card. I want the card. The coin's spooking me a little bit, though. Alright, I can't scroll up. There's a jillion chats. It's freaking awesome to have so many people back. Yeah, things are good, Philip. How are you doing, bro? Bash, Menley, EOS Daily. Oh, we can look at almost any Bitcoin pair because no one ever wants to look at them. Oh, wow, this is going to be an old... This is an old... Oh, let's see where I was at. I don't know, this looks like a year ago plus. You can tell it's really old because it does not fit my style preference anymore. That color. Yeah. And I was using single indicators. What was I doing? Little pro tip for anyone who has the free version on TradingView. Instead of using a single indicator for each of your moving averages, just type in multiple, if I could type in multiple, or multi, a search, and look for multiple moving average. Multi-moving average, there we go. And so now it only takes up one indicator slot, but it has 4 indicators. Pretty sweet. Little pro tip. $50. Okay, I got my chart a little bit set up here. Dang, under everything. Okay. Don't want my signal line, don't want my MACD line, don't want crosses. Alright, here. I just need RSI. Alright guys, I usually have these set up, but I haven't looked at this chart in clearly a long time. Maybe July 2019? Because I have a note here that says needs to close above the Tenkan, and it didn't. So I see some decent things here on the daily. We're gonna be painting a bullish divergence here. Or I would say the probability favors that we will. We have a really low swing in RSI on the 12th of May that has not been exceeded, but as you can see, the price on the 12th of May was higher than the current Bitcoin pair price. I think we actually need to zoom out more. Something tells me we need to zoom out even more for this. Check the week. Weekly with the same setup, but that's all the way back to here. The lowest RSI touch was on August 5th, 2019, and has been setting higher lows since. And it looks like MACD agrees. But man, this is gonna be catching knives. This is a knife catch for sure. Coming off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th week of red for EOS BTC, with really no real significant supports to see. We do have what was on this chart, at least this chart history, the all-time low when it was listed, I guess, on wherever this is at 800 sats. That's still quite quite a dip down from here. Guess we could also find some support here from this double bottom at 2100. Let's see if we've broken it. Not yet. I would be looking at 2100 sats on EOS BTC. However, it's going to be something that we have to look at then. You know, we don't have anything. We don't have anything here that's like suggesting that now is the time to enter. We have a lot of divergences. Lots of, this is like triple MACD, divergence on the daily and weekly. But man, we're going to have to see something. Because just guessing at 2100 sats because it was a support, I mean, that's better maybe than market buying right now. Four-hour has it as well. It just keeps setting lower lows over and over and over. What an ugly chart. Me, oh my. I have a very little amount of EOS, and I have a feeling it's not worth a lot. I'm feeling it's not worth too much. Can't find like a single time frame where you're above like any moving average. On the hourly, like just, nope, not even above the 20 on the hour. Well, good luck. I'm glad that I looked at that, Bash. Good luck with this, man. I wouldn't go near it with a stick until minimum 2100 sats. And when we get there, or if we get there, dang well better be showing me something good. Better see some divergence immediately off of that. Something that suggests that buyers are interested at that level, because there is not, there's nothing until some kind of divergence confirms here. So good luck with that one. Best wishes to the EOS people amongst us. Dollar, you're going the wrong direction, Dollar. Doing. US Tech 100 doing. Just started a new daily. That's not a bad daily close though. It's definitely not super pretty, but it did wick into where we were looking for. Did see buying respond. Had an alert at yesterday's low. $11,605. So far, we've caught this, man. That 4-hour bearish divergence here. That was such a valuable signal. Holy crap. Like, wicked. 4-hour showed divergence on RSI. Boom. Just like clockwork. Stocks? I need to look at stocks more often. I say that like every episode now. Every episode. They seem much better behaved. Way better behaved than... Nice. Reacting to the trend here. 2-hour bullish engulfing with 56 minutes left. Looking pretty good. I like that it did not continue, or at least found some support at 11,655. Without that, I would not be as confident as I am currently. $15-minute. Look, it does look like it held that. Does look like it held that 50 line, doesn't it? Or at least was uninterested in staying under 50. That's the stuff bull dreams are made of, man. 50 RSI support bounces. There's a We'll leave this here, I guess, for now. $15-minute flipping back. Is it like every time frame is flipping back now? Yeah, 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, very odd. Hourly still positive, 2 hours still positive, 4 hour gaining momentum still, 8 hour gaining momentum still, 12 hour positive. This is spicy. This could be the first hint that we're gonna see MACD flipping on other time frames. Daily with the first sign of increasing momentum since it started waning on the 13th. If we click. Lee looking to flip. That looks great. Got glasses sweat. Yo, 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 what's up, Woke Chewy? How you doing, brah? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Alright. Going. Good. Go back down, dollar. Nobody got time for you, dollar. Oh yeah, let's take a look at our 4-day. Our 4-day was our confirmation. I don't want to use the word confirmation, but it is our confirmation of our edges lining up. Looking good. Looking solid on the 4-day. This is a new 4-day candle though. Pushed up the high. Nice. Confirmed the bullish divergence on the 4-day here. We have a swing low, a lower swing low. We had a swing low in price and a higher swing low in price. Have our divergence. And it's confirmed by this blue candle of the MACD flip. Very nice. Now it is a fresh 4-day candle. It still can move back down. And if it moves back down sufficiently, it can flip this candle back down to the negative side, which would be very bearish. But it's looking like that's confirming the 4-day bullish divergence shortly after Ichi. I guess that's the power of Ichi. Confirmed it first. 3-day already confirmed it. Oh yeah, that's looking spicy. Ooh, buddy. 3-day confirmed. That was a few days ago, actually, though. Bullish divergence that we've been sitting and waiting, and watching for forever now. Finally playing out. Looking for a cross up, man. If we get that cross up on the 3-day, it's gonna go ballistic. It's gonna go ape. 5-day, where are we at? 5-day looking to roll over to the upside. What else going on there? 6-day looking to roll over. That's what I love. RSI shows this bullish divergence. MACD shows this bullish divergence, and even Stotch does. Even our Stotch is showing it. It's like everything in crypto is pointing to this recent like September swing low as like a very exhausting sell-off. Even though it didn't move very far. I guess that's where the divergence comes from. Is that the market absorbed it. Hmm. Good evening. What's up, Martin? Ain't nobody got time for that dollar. Dixie dollar. Sell off. Just sell off. Good test 93.2. Don't be able to hold it. Fall down to 92.75. This is what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Bring the pain. Bring the pain dollar. Release your anger. Give us the gains. What else is there to look at? Got 2 hours and 40 minutes till close. For those just joining us, reiterating, 11,655 is our target for close today. Close above that is rather exciting. Rather exciting. So far, it's held close enough. I know it has held. 5, it didn't quite get touched. Came as low as 11,659. It's within a margin of error, that's alright. Five-minute bouncing off 50 RSI, very nice. Very nice. Let's see if we have a neckline. Ew. Okay. And solid. Got our retracement. If this holds, this is powerful. Got our retrace down to the 0.5, down to the monthly engulfing line that was acting as resistance, potentially now suggesting it is acting as support. Great stuff. Great stuff. You can just see it. You can see it in all the people who are out watching streams today, man. Awesome to have everybody back. Freaking sweet. All the new faces. Dig it. I hope you new faces stick around. Make sure to subscribe. Get in the Discord so you can follow our daily live streams. We're here every day. We're following the hottest news. We're giving you the signals, giving you the indicators. We're giving them to you first. Here, live. We found so many things live here that no one was talking about, especially in the last month or two. And then all of a sudden everyone started talking about them. Oh, we have video evidence. We have video recordings. We had it. And I'm not actually salty about that. I don't care. It's good that everyone else caught on. It's only a matter of time. But we found it, man. We're the first ones talking about the quarterly close. First ones talking about 2, 3, 4, 5 day bullish divergence. The only ones, I haven't even heard people talk about it yet. The 4-day bullish Ichi cross. Caught that first. Or I don't even know if anyone caught that since. We still might be the only ones talking about it. People don't respect the clouds the way they're supposed to, the way they should. Something weird just happened. Yeah, this YouTube analytics thing throws me through a loop every time. Every time I look at it, it says that the viewers dropped to 0 for a second. Freaks me out. Oh yeah. Nice little 15-minute hammer coming in. Do we got it? Very nice. over. Close a little higher, buddy. Close a little higher. Let's run. Have a live rally. Dope. Dope. That button. Oh, Discord link's in the chat again. Didn't mean to hit that. Matthew Miller. That's right, Tails. I'm the only one chasing the clouds, bro. In real life and in the charts. We did look at US Tech 100 for a while today. Do it, Bitcoin. Do it. Flip it. Roll over. Flip it. Let's go. Let's close this daily with a nice little padding area. Close. No, don't close close to 11,655. We don't want that. Don't want. Make sure these links. Excellent. Do it, Bitcoin. I know if I look away, it's gonna go. Wow. Dow Jones. Didn't realize Dow looked so ugly. I've been watching S&P, and NASDAQ and stuff. I didn't realize this is so ugly. It never retested its high. Need to go on the daily. Go on the daily for this cat. Alright, at least it hasn't painted bearish divergence on the highs yet. Because it hasn't set new highs. Well, actually on the daily it does. From June 8th. June 8th's high on RSI is yet to be eclipsed. Going to be vital. Necessary for bulls. They want to keep it up. Gotta set a higher RSI high. Can't have like a higher price high and not be respecting the RSI, man. It's not going to work well. A little bullish divergence on these lows on MACD. Paste there. We saw the bearish. And you're threatening. Ooh, man. Really dry. Salud. Rene Silva, what's up, bro? But on the daily here, so this has been a little story. We saw Dow rally, retrace, pullback, rally again for a higher high, failing to set a higher RSI than here, so painted bearish divergence there. Oh, Bitcoin. No time for you, buddy. Time for Bitcoin. Got an alert. Where's my chart? Holy crap, where is it? There we go. Hammering out. Rolling over. That was less exhilarating than I thought. 5 minute engulfing. Broke the channel. Very nice. This is what's catching my eye here, though, man. The 5 minute, yes, it's off by 0.5. It's off by 1%. But the 5 minute bouncing on this 50 RSI, dude. That is what dreams are made of. Using the 50 as support, or using the 50 as resistance in RSI typically leads to very spicy things. 5-minute momentum picked up on that too. Nice. This could be getting real interesting. Getting very spicy. I don't know if I can look away. One minute bullish divergence on the no bearish divergence on the highs yet. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Alright. Alright, go back to this quick. So, set its high in June, rallied, set a new slightly higher high, retraced, set an even higher high, but failed to reflect it on our side. Then what we saw is a sell-off, a head and shoulders pattern, bottomed out, and then we got bullish divergence on the lows here, which sent it up again. And the problem is MACD showing bearish divergence even on this high. RSI is not yet. The problem is that just is struggling. We're seeing lower lows on RSI and lower highs. It's not showing us, not really showing us that bullish strength. And really what we could look at here, and I just noticed this because I haven't really ever looked at this chart, is all of this price action, all of it is so far just filling this gap. Like just barely filled this gap. And then look at this. This is a rejection. So gap filled completely on the 2nd of September. 1st or 3rd of September, that's a rejection. That's a rejection candle, man. Bearish engulfed on the daily right out of there. And then failing to set a higher high. And I don't even know if this is a double top. This just looks like a failed rally. Like this whole thing, to me, this just looks like a failed rally. It reminds me of oil. Actually, speaking of that, let's pull that up because it's definitely relevant today. Yep. Oil looking maybe a little stronger, but not really. Same thing. Oil sold off around the same time and just came up to fill its gap. And this just looks like a failed rally to me. It's not setting any new highs. I mean, so far it's really just ranging in the previous gap. That reminds me a lot of crude. Just like not enough strength, not seeing the strength it needs. But let's zoom out because maybe there's something else here. I'm interested in this chart now, so this is what we're doing. And you can see this on the weekly. I need to trade stocks. Wish I didn't love crypto so much. Dude, you can see this clear as day on the weekly, man. Weekly bearish divergence on these highs, like savagely so. Absolutely. And then out on the weekly, still not setting any higher highs of any kind, it seems. MACD suggesting that we even have bearish divergence on these highs. Man, this is like a do or die for Dow here. It's gonna have to rally and set a new high. And if it doesn't, I feel like all of these divergences just collapse kind of at the same time. MACD with a higher swing, with a lower high in price. Coming off of this bearish divergence on RSI, dude, this is... Chart's looking ugly. MACD reflecting it. Whenever you see this, this is such a consistent thing. whenever you see on, especially on longer time frames, when you see a high, then price rallies. It rallies to a new high and then starts selling off. And it has a lower high on RSI. That bearish divergence, dude, it is so... It just like, you're not going to get this every time. You're not going to get March. But that hits so hard. It slaps, man. Like, on any asset. You zoom out to the weekly or even the daily, and you see a high and a higher high, and then there's not much distance in them. And RSI isn't reflecting it. Like, you're boned. The biz owned. Monthly. You look at this, I was saying that earlier, it just looks like a failed rally. Look at this monthly MACD. These pitiful candles. Like, we had lower low, so we might have divergence. Nope, and we don't even get divergence. It can't catch a break. We have a lower low in price and a lower low in MACD. Same thing with RSI.
Can we do a side-by-side of the SPX and BTC?
Side by side, sure. Sure. You can do that. Dow, man. That's ugly. That is ugly. It's gonna have to put in a new high or it's just boned. And see here, so this is just real quick, what we were looking at for the Dow, and the reason that I'm so bearish on it, actually, we don't see that on SPX. We might see it from all the way back here to this new high. We haven't eclipsed RSI's high here. That's much farther back. That might not even be valid. And we look at Dow, and it doesn't have this higher high. It has a much lower high, and it just kept setting series of lower highs and lower lows. Luckily, SPX, not in the same fate, also seemed to retake its previous high, so that is good. Bounce. That's weird, though. That's a weird chart. A lot of weird charts lately. Market is moving strangely. I think it's getting snapped back to reality. Things of note, though, SPX doesn't have... It might have bearish divergence on the MACD, but not on the RSI, so that is good. Its highest price point was the highest point on RSI. That is good. Let's look at it. Wait, Bitcoin, why did... I need to pull up a new chart. I thought I had that. Mel Height. What's up, my man? Welcome to the fam, dude. It's good to have you. Thanks for the follow. Zoom this out. Man, great viewership today. 244 watching. Freaking awesome. You guys are the best. Kevin, welcome to Crown Town, bud. Good to have you. Yeah, this is interesting. Just kind of side note here. I've never looked this far back, I guess, on SPX. 2003 low into 2009 low. That's pretty similar to what, October 18th and March 2020. You have that same falling low pattern. That's spicy. 2005, 2015 chart we have, so let's go back to that instead. Oh, this makes Bitcoin look great, doesn't it? I think this makes it look great. S&P 500 has essentially doubled. Take it from the low to the high. From the low to the high hasn't even doubled since 2015. Slightly off. Sorry guys, I'm OCD. I need my numbers right. 98%, almost 100% from the swing low in 2015-16. And in that time, what has Bitcoin done? Oh, a nice 18-ish thousand to the high. And then only a modest 10,500 to right now. Modest. But I'm actually going to snip. I want to see just this part of each chart. 2018. Start of 2018. Start of 2018. Dude, nothing looks more bullish than Bitcoin. There's just nothing. Bitcoin gets the higher low. Indices get the lower low. Ooh, bump, bump, bump. S&P 500 on the weekly not looking as healthy as it did on the daily. That might not be good. Wait, was I looking at a different chart? I'm confused. That's okay. Bearish divergence on these highs? What? What? Double top on the weekly, potentially. Man, things do not look great. Not look great for regular traditional markets. Double top. Ew, no. Double top with lower RSI. No. This is ugly. You're gonna have to. S&P 500 also gonna have to push up here to avoid that. Looks like it's sinking though. No divergence on the lows. Zoom it in. I don't know what exactly you wanted to see, Rico, so I'm just kind of like freestyling on it. Feel free. So let me know. Dude, yeah, we've been on the same team of thought for that for a long time. How anyone sees correlation, I have no idea. The only way I could see any justification for it is, well, March low and a March low. Well, let's look at it. Bitcoin's low in March on the 13th. S&P 500's low in March on the 23rd. So 10 days later, we put in a low. Bitcoin, what was it? February 13th. February 19th, S&P started to sell off. Bitcoin a few days earlier. Bitcoin seems to be reacting earlier. But I don't see it either, man. I don't understand. Like, if we zoom in just to like March and look at price since, okay, I mean, that makes sense. But here's the problem with that is literally every asset will look like this from March because everything saw its low in March. Everything. Gold, silver, like everything sold off in March, so anything is going to look similar. Everything has gone up. Even oil hasn't really moved up as much, but it's moved up. Probably the dollar is the exception to that. Well, I think that's even when the dollar sold off, so... Yeah, the dollar is like the only exception. The dollar just did it inverted. The dollar like super rallied and then just really spent the whole time selling off after, where everything else is just like hit a low and then rallying up. What's really interesting is the dollar hit its low first on the 8th, Bitcoin on the 13th, and then indices on like the 23rd. But literally everything except for the dollar looks like this from March. So I don't understand the correlation either. I don't understand why people are... I think it's just a simple explanation so that people like simple explanations. This is this. Very easy to understand. Like again, here's another good example. Like, okay, Bitcoin local high, October 12th. Oh wait, no, I'm not zoomed in enough. I don't know. Local high, yearly high, August 17th. Yearly high, September 2nd. I don't know. I just don't see it. Don't see it. I do not believe, and that does not taint what I'm seeing. But I don't believe that Bitcoin is related to like really any asset. Fiat. Maybe an inverse relationship to fiat. That's about it. But like everything has an inverse relationship to fiat. Pretty much. Because it's the other side of the pair of everything. Two hours, 20 minutes. Man, a close above 11:8:15 would be sweet. Well, Matthew, we've looked at that here before. And there is no cut and dry. There is no cut and dry answer. Typically, most commonly, everything runs opposite to the dollar. When the dollar is worth more, it can buy more of whatever it is you're trying to buy, so it's worth less in dollars. And the opposite is true. And we've looked at this in depth in previous episodes. And while that is true, most commonly that is true with Bitcoin as well. We can go back and we can see times, though, when the dollar rallied and so did Bitcoin. So it's not as simple as yes and no for Bitcoin. In fact, some of Bitcoin's strongest rallies have been when the dollar was running, 2017. So really no cut and dry answer there. There is a relationship, certainly. Certainly there's a relationship. But it's a complicated one. They're like friends with benefits. Like, not really sure where they stand. Certainly you can use the dollar to get useful information for trading other markets, not even just limited to Bitcoin. Can you trade off of that in Bitcoin? I don't think you should. I don't think that that's wise. I don't think it would be successful. Friends with enemies with benefits. But they are. Nice, we've gotten like 30 subscribers in this episode. Amazing. You guys are great. So it's so dope to have all these new faces again, all these new people. Freaking awesome. got a bunch of alerts. The energy's back. Chirag. Arucha. What's up, brother? Or sister, I don't know. Welcome. Great to have all these members. Everyone joining us, make sure to be in the Discord, though. Very, very important. Really the only way to keep up with our daily live streams here. Really no other way. Notifications do not always work, and sometimes you just have no way of knowing we're live. Rude. That is why Discord is important. Elation. Oh, I can't wait. The minute the US finally settles on a stimulus, it's gonna be rocket boosters on for the corn. I actually wonder if some of this rallying we've seen recently is actually baking that in. If the markets are confident that a stimulus is coming closer. Would not surprise me. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Sit tight. Need to grab more water because I'm dying of thirst. Give me 2 seconds. Sit tight. While you're waiting, make sure you've liked the stream. Make sure you're subscribed and slapped that bell. Make sure you're in Discord. And if you've accomplished all of those wonderful, wonderful feats, check out my post today. It's a public post. Check it out. Link is in the Discord. It's a little taste of what patrons get every day. So check that out. That'll keep you busy a few minutes, and I'll be back before you're done reading it. So give me a minute. I'm going to throw the smoke screen up. Alright, alright, alright. Smoke screen down. See what's going on. $15-minute rolled over as expected. 30 minutes up next. Litecoin looking to close again above the 200. Could spell some nice upside. Good. Looking for a close above 47.7. Be very nice. Likely to lead to a rally at least to the 50 daily. LTC BTC. Potentially painting daily bullish div on MACD here depending where it closes. Still no sign of a bounce at this point. Man, most coins are just not moving right now. Link tested 100 daily. No bearish divergence there on these highs, that is good. But no bullish divergence on the lows either. Rejection hit our target at the 100 daily moving average. Rejection here could be not great. Zoom in. 4-hour bull div though. Looks like the 25 held support. Now looking for the 50 on the 4-hour. Everything's just primed. Every alt, it really seems like every alt is just coiled up, ready just like to get a direction from the king. Really what it's doing. They all look similar except for Crow. Crow doing whatever by itself in its own weird thing. Really low volatility still. BTCD reaching again. Gonna have to do better than that. Total, weirdly, this is weird. Total, not reflecting the higher high of Bitcoin here yet. But also not putting in bearish divergence, so that's good for now. CME looking great. West. Oil running with the dollar. JI. Crap. This is pretty. Look at how smooth this is on the 4-hour MACD. Smooth. It was clearly a fake out. Man. Really setting up for a solid daily close here on Bitcoin. Really would be amazing to see it close up as high as 11,814. Closing bullish engulfed on the 4-hour would be awesome. Closing doji on the 8-hour, equally awesome. 12-hour is like good pretty much regardless, as long as it doesn't sell off under 11,680 into the close. Retains its awesomeness. Tech 100, did you bounce? I can't figure you out yet. hourly engulfed and then just did nothing for 50 something minutes. OMG has not moved. Little baby orphan candle. Gross.
SPX monthly RSI lol.
Thank you again, Sir Rico, for the €10 SPX. Where'd my SPX? Thought I had one up. Yes. Dude, this is just everywhere on these traditional markets. Everywhere. Very odd. Bearish divergence. Once, twice, 3 times the lady man on the monthly. Yeah, the monthly, not the same story, is it? 3 touches, 3 higher highs, or 3 higher highs in price, with 1, 2, 3 lower highs in RSI. That does not bode well. Really needs to close this month strong. Really needs to close this month strong. Though SPX did follow Bitcoin in its quarterly close, but these, man, this is ugly. Failed quarterly engulf, failed quarterly engulf. Did close the same as Bitcoin with there's this being the highest quarterly close ever, Bitcoin being the second highest. Dude, they've got a rip. You can see MACD's even saying this is a really weak. There's really like buying momentum on the quarterly has been dropping since 2014. Not good. Look at that candle on the yearly though. That's not the worst yearly candle I've ever seen. Yearly's still trending up. Same issue with its highs though, man. These highs previously are just savage. Savage to the future price action. Like, unable to keep up that momentum. Really, on almost any time frame except for the weekly, I thought it looked alright. Maybe not. Yeah. Ugly. Rest in peace. RIP. Coming up on 2 hours till close. Means we've been live quite some time. The viewership has been amazing. You guys are awesome. Lots of new faces. Oops, I just hit the wrong button. Okay, well, that button works too. Here we go. That's what I meant. Make sure you're in the Discord. Catch our lives every day. Be live again tomorrow. Gun store 30. Foolish divergence on the MACD here, 30-minute on Stotch, but not on RSI. Not much on the hour either. 1 hour left to close out. Oh no, 2 hours. Certainly looks nice though. Seems like the hype's dying down a bit. That's okay. We've been on for a while. Lots of energy in this stream too. Lots of energy. I think it's a good time as any. I think we're going to get a little indecision, maybe a move into the close though. Values to be looking at here, 11,655. Want to close daily above there. 11,833 for daily high. Would be nice to close above it, but as close to that as possible to avoid wicks on the top of this daily. Really show that the bulls are in charge. Thank you, Derek, man. Thanks for tuning in. I think this is kind of a natural stopping point. Energy's down. I'm hungry. We'll be live again tomorrow or tonight if it gets crazy. Make sure you're in the Discord and subscribed. You can catch those streams. And everyone's homework, go check out that Patreon post. Check it out. If you want a summary of everything I talked about in Bitcoin today, that's got it in detail. You do. And I don't know if we see this high break or we see a drop below 11,655 before the close today, probably get back on. Probably stream again. We'll see. Yeah, I'm ready for food. My stomach hurts. So yes, 200 likes and we got it. Got 200 likes. You guys are amazing. I love y'all, fam. And I will catch you soon. Tune in tomorrow at the latest. Make sure you're subscribed in Discord and checked out Patreon. And if you do all those things, you're the man. The man. I'll catch you guys in Discord. I'll catch you in the next streams. I'm out. Love y'all.